Yeah.
Should be good now.
Oh, because you had the speaker on over there?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck is that? All right.
Yo.
Whew. We gonna get this one day.
It is so easy. Look. It's so easy to get frustrated with shit that you really have no idea when, like, you shouldn't get frustrated.
Yeah.
But it's like, fuck, I'm frustrated.
Yeah, because it's like, why is this so difficult? This shouldn't be as difficult as it is. But, you know, people are hypercritical. I know we are hypercritical on ourselves. So.
Like, I'm a smart individual. I should be able to get this. Like, people don't give themselves enough credit and shit. New haircut. Barber made me into a solid 5. I was a solid 2. We had sound effects about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds. That box is a dub.
Yeah, well, shit. I guess it's ready to get going, ready to get back started again. Welcome to the How'd I Get Here podcast. Oh, fuck, I forgot to clap.
Just make it clap.
Now the thing's gonna be like,
it's like, I don't know.
Malfunction.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the How'd I Get Here podcast, the podcast for positivity, progression, helping us find our own path. It's your boy Jake coming at you from the Recess Studio.
It's your boy Spencer, financial advisor, holistic planning, gang. You talk about your brand, cuz.
My brands.
My brands.
I don't feel like talking about my brands today.
You never is. All right. Moving on.
Why is that? What's up, shorty? I don't know who that is. There's a sense, do you ever get nervous or shy or afraid to talk about yourself?
Not typically, unless I'm like lacking confidence in what I'm capable of.
Word. I just don't like talking about myself. I just like to let my work speak for itself, but nobody will find out about your work if you don't talk about it.
Facts. Like, yeah, not enough people see your work, so you gotta like spread
boast
the word.
Your shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's hold on. I need a quick sip, real quick. But
wait a minute.
Well, shit, nah, no free advertisement.
I was gonna say we don't do free advertising.
No free advertisement. So this shit's gotta go back down there. But yeah.
Actually, that's a great segue. So actually, the sponsor of this week's episode is Dope Genetics. So this is a Hartford Black-owned cannabis brand. Up and coming because you know in Connecticut marijuana is legal, baby. We're gonna get sound effects one day. So yeah, our boy sponsored a couple episodes. We want to promote his brand. Really go follow at dope.genetics. Go to the website, dope91genetics.com for merch information. There's going to be events. My man makes all his own strains.
Look out for a How'd I Get Here high strand very, very soon coming your way.
Yes. He does infused everything, edibles. We got dope edibles. They're Sour Patch Kids. They smell delicious, but I know that effect is gonna have me. It's gonna do me dirty. Based out of Hartford, Connecticut, and obviously we're always looking for innovative ideas and ways to promote themselves and help people in the community because cannabis is very medicinal. I honestly think marijuana is going to help bring the country out of debt.
Well, that's I think why they're making it legal because they realize we're fucked. And it's how else are they gonna?
It's got less negative properties than alcohol.
Whoa!
Like, so it's like you get drunk, but I don't think you could get too high unless it's like through edibles or something. I don't know.
No one's ever died from an overdose on weed.
And it's not a gateway drug, no matter what they tell you. You have a gateway mindset.
Crazy thing is I don't smoke, but I'm probably one of the biggest advocates for it.
I couldn't imagine you smoking.
Why?
Because it's either you're going to smoke a sativa and you're going to be a little more energetic and your brain's going to be moving super fast, or you're going to smoke an indica and then you're going to be like really down, and that's just not you. So it's gonna be
It sounds
weird.
depressing.
Yeah, like I can't see you down. Like talking to you on Sundays when you're decompressing and like
You're like, yeah, this nigga sucks.
like Sundays, I know you're just like chilling on your own vibe. So imagine like Sundays every day.
That's stupid.
Right?
I don't even enjoy Sundays for what Sundays are, and I need my Sundays. But I mean that brings me to a interesting segue into what we're going to talk about. What was the old girl's name? And the reason I'm cutting the dope genetics and the weed talk soon, because we're definitely going to do an episode with Mike and some folks in the marijuana industry. And
Shakara Richards.
Yeah. But that's the reason I'm gonna cut that short. But definitely appreciate Mike and the guys over at Dope Genetics for sponsoring the next couple episodes and partnering up with us and excited about some big things that's gonna come both our ways.
August 6th, baby.
August 6th. Y'all just wait on it.
Go follow them. Reach out. If you're a connoisseur, I'm kind of sure you should talk to my boy because he's ill in the lab for sure.
So Shakara Richards, right? By now everybody has heard that she's been disqualified from the running the 100 meter in the Olympics because she tested positive for marijuana or something in the marijuana that she tested positive for. Was against the, I don't know, she's old lady. Yes, being
like,
nice.
Oh, look at them.
But yeah, so it's just interesting that in today's society, people are still getting in trouble for something so simple and so innocent as weed.
So, yeah, actually, we can definitely have a discussion about this because yes, I mean, first of all, it's silly. If the fact that she can dust people in a 100-meter race with smoker's lungs, like that's impressive. First of all, I didn't know it was 100 meters. She sprints the length of a football field. Have you seen her run?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, it's like everyone's running and she always starts off slower, but it's like everyone maxes out and red lines in third gear. And when she gets to third gear, she's like, "Oh, I got fourth, baby."
Can I sidebar this Shakara Richards since we're talking about racing? So me and Spencer have been at this for about 4 months now, and he thinks that he can beat me in a race.
That's a fact.
So listeners, we got to find something to call our listeners. What should we call our listeners?
Lovely viewers, listeners. I don't know.
We can't call them hires, like
Or hypees.
Hypees is cool. We'll figure that out. But hypees, y'all tell me who you think, or tell us who you think would win in a race, and then we're gonna record it.
Ooh.
And for y'all, so we're gonna do a little poll because we always do our Instagram polls, interacting that shit. Who y'all think would win in a race between Spencer and I? Back to the Shakara Richards shit, right? So, or did you want to speak on that? Nah, don't, because it doesn't matter. I'm gonna win. Anyways.
So confident.
Yeah. Talk about my shit, right? But nah, it's crazy because like you were saying, like she's doing all that like with smokers' lungs, right? But weed is such an innocent drug, but it's still frowned upon. Like we were saying in the beginning, like, yo, the how'd I get here abbreviation is high. Right. Yeah. And I noticed that before bringing you on. But then when you brought it up, I was like, oh, it's a good idea. But we don't just want to give the perception of us being about being high. You know what I mean? So it sucks that just because it's weed, there's a negative connotation that comes with it. Or, you know, I could be a manager somewhere. Right. And we all know higher ups do all types of shit they have no business doing. Right. But because I'm in this limelight or in this line of work, I can't be seen as a smoker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. You can't, because you can't be high at work, right? Like certain jobs, you just can't be high at work and effectively do your job. Some jobs you definitely can. And some people argue, yo, listen, I get up, I wake and bake, and
I'm good.
Like that's how I get my brain jump started. Everybody's different. But I think if people can drink alcohol every day, people could definitely smoke weed. Like for PTSD, like veterans, I've spoken with veterans who have never smoked a day in their life. had real trauma, like tough time sleeping, muscle spasms, fibromyalgia. They got on to some either edibles or they smoked a little bit of weed, and it's just like, oh wow. Like,
but there's so many ways to consume it.
Yeah.
Tea, lotions, oils.
So many baths.
Right,
right. And it's like, it has so many relaxing features, and it's all natural. That's the thing. It's from the earth. It's from the earth. Like alcohol, you gotta bust it down and do a lot to it. But back to Shakara Richards. So also, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but it's like at the end of the day, you knew what the rules were. Like you knew the parameters, and like I understand. And it's like it's a very unfortunate time of her life because her mother passed away a week before qualifying for the Olympics.
So let me ask you to that point. Yeah. Do you, because she accepted it. She was like, look, I know I fucked up.
She was gangster about it. Yeah. I knew what it was. I still did it.
Fuck you. Like, I'm 21. I'm going to get 10 more chances at this shit.
Yeah, I can do it again 10 at 25.
Years. Yeah, you know what I mean? But with all that being said, do you, and we obviously can't speak for her. Hey, Shakara Richards, come on the show.
Yo, please. Yeah, come that's a fact because of, yeah, go ahead.
But do you think now knowing what she knows or where she is, she regrets what she did? And obviously we can't speak for her, but then that'll segue into the next topic.
Yeah. So does she regret it? I hope not. I hope she doesn't, because to be honest, like she said, she knew what she was getting into when she did it. We don't know why she did what she did. I know she's got a lot going on. And to be honest, there's so much study done on ex-Olympians. Like Michael Phelps was depressed for years.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't understand how it is to compete at a high level and continuously compete at that level.
Right.
The wear and tear on your body, but also your mental health.
Your
mental health all the time. So it's like, listen, she's been busting they ass since she was a freshman in college.
And probably before that.
Yeah, I don't know how she was in high school, but I'm sure she's always been like that. So from a freshman in college, and you could hear her say, yo, so many people doubted me. So many people said this about me. So listen, her mother just passed away a week prior. She couldn't even share that experience. Mom, I'm an Olympian with her. So I'm sure, who knows what she was going through mentally. She was like, yo, listen, I need to woosah. I need to calm down. And I'm sure there's ways that she could have got it medicinally, but because, she did what she did, now it's like, I can't run. So should she regret it? I hope not, because like I said, she owned it, and it is what it is. A lot of people talk about, well, she's going to miss out on money and endorsements for her and her family. Listen, she's still going to be the fastest woman. Oh, no, she's actually not the fastest, but she's still going to be fast. She's still going to be doing her thing. I'm sure a little bit of weed is not going to stop her overall ambition. It's just sad that she's not going to be able to represent her country at a high level the way she should be able to.
Right. Especially at 21. That's a big deal.
Because she smoked a little weed.
So let me ask you a question. I mean, we prefaced this by asking if she regretted it. Do you regret anything in your life?
Ooh.
Say before you go into detail, just say yes or no, then I'm going to read a quote and then we'll dive into it.
Do I regret anything in my life? No.
All right, so there's this quote. It says, regrets are only there because you ain't forgave yourself or learned your lesson yet. What do you think about that?
That's a fact. So, yeah, that's a fact, because I can't regret anything, because anything that happened to me for a reason, good or bad. And if I look deep enough into it, I just have to hold myself accountable. And most of the time, something that I would, quote unquote, most people would regret, like, damn, I wish I did this. Nah, I'm glad that happened, because that gave me the insight and the fuel I needed to do this. Are there things that I would go back and do differently knowing what I know now? For sure.
So isn't that a sign of or sense of regret?
Nah, I feel like that's a sense of growth, because we've talked about this. I want a big family, right?
Right.
So everything I've learned in my life, I want to instill in my kids that, hey, listen, And I know I was a kid, like,
You got kids?
no, I want to. And I know as a kid, you're like, yeah, dad, whatever, in one ear, out the other. That's how I was. But I think I wasn't talked to the way I needed to be in order for me to listen. And that's your job as a parent. I wholeheartedly think if something goes wrong, like it's not always your kid needs to learn this lesson for themselves. Sometimes they do, and that's going to be the best life lesson for them. But sometimes you need to take a different approach, because even like in leadership, when it comes down to leading people, it's not about your way. It's about the way that's going to get your people to follow you so that you can execute what you need to execute. If you want to be an effective parent, and again, I'm not a parent, I'm not shitting on anybody, but you need to look at the way your child needs to be spoken to in order for them to understand what you're saying. Right. So, sorry, that was a long answer to a short question.
Nah, but I feel you, because I think about, my soccer journey a lot, right? And I could have went to school in North Carolina, could have went to a host of different schools, right? I could have left Madai College, right? But then who's to say I end up in England? You know what I mean? And like my biggest thing is, like, I had a high school teacher, Coach Rob, right? And he used to say, if you're going to college with a girlfriend, break up with her now, because you're going to go to college and meet your wife, right? And he would tell us that all the time, right?
But you need to follow up with that with an explanation. Like, that's a true statement.
Oh, right.
But like, that's just in one ear. Like, yeah, bro, I love her.
Well, no, but my thing, so with him saying that, I always heard what he said. But my thing was, like, I went to college and met my groomsmen. You know what I mean? Shout out the Rotogees boys out in Buffalo. But my thing is, like, those are my guys. Like, you go to college and most people, like, you make friends freshman year and you guys aren't friends senior year, right? I
didn't go to college.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but
that's fine. I went to college for a year.
But I didn't want to, like, seem like I was clowning you, But like,
no.
But you, I mean, that's friendships, right? Like, you start and then you
build bonds,
right?
Bonds.
Like, bro, we from freshman year when I met these dudes to this day, you know what I mean? Like, we've all been solid. So it's like, who's to say where my life would be today
without meeting them?
Who, granted, I probably would have met some other people, but like, I know those, like, I was supposed to meet those guys.
Yes.
I share memories, like you said, lessons and everything that I wouldn't be who I am today without them. And not even just them, the experiences that I had in Buffalo.
That's dope. And that's why it's hard to regret anything, because I mean, even me not going to college, I worked that entire time and I networked and I met some of my best friends that were always gonna be my boys, and girls. So yeah, no, like there's no reason to regret anything. Shout out D Block. D Block literally has no regrets. Like, I don't know what that spot is, like between your stomach and like
belly button.
No, it's like under the belly button,
on
but
the
like
Tupac spot.
No. It's under the belly button. It's like by the waist. It's like across his waist, whatever. He's got no regrets right there. Matter of fact, we got to tag D Block in this because they got a dope podcast too.
Word.
They be politicking. But
that's like, so that brings me to a thought, and I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately, and it's not in the sense of regretting. Well, to answer that first question, I don't know if I regret anything, or maybe I regret certain behaviors. And my biggest thing is like when I got successful with soccer, right? I knew that I worked my ass off to get to where I was. And maybe one of my biggest or only regrets in life, I felt like entitled to certain things.
Because you worked so hard to get there, you didn't realize the work continues.
Right. It don't stop. Like, it got me here. Now this shit's really just starting.
Yeah.
So then it was like, yo, like, you should want to train me. You should want to make me your, you know what I mean? Or like, instead of like, yo, I should still be paying for workouts and paying coaches and getting this and going there and doing that. And like, I didn't realize it until now that like this year I've been reflecting on it a lot. Like I felt a sense of entitlement I won't say for no fucking reason.
It's your ego.
Right. But yeah. I earned that.
You know what it is? And ego and pride, mainly your ego, it's necessary, but you have to be able to control it. So I was listening to a podcast years ago. You should wear your ego like a mask and know when that mask should be put on and when to take it off. Because that ego on the soccer field, you need that.
Right.
You need that resilience. You need that, I'm the best at what I do, and I'm going to show you. Once soccer's done, you have to take that mask off, and it's like, I bet it's back to, I need to be a sponge and learn everything and just be humble. Like, yo, listen, I'm blessed to be here. I need to continue my craft and better my craft, it's easier said than done.
Right.
Because it's tough.
Like, I'm grinding. I'm over here killing myself.
Yes.
At what point, what did Nipsey say? At what point does preparation in the dedication song?
We were just singing this earlier.
We literally were. Time does dedicate. When does dedication meet preparation or some shit? Opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, bro, I've been preparing. Where's my opportunity?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's tough. A lot of people will argue if you you just have to keep preparing. And it's like, I stay ready so I don't got to get ready type of thing.
Right.
So like, to my point with Michael Phelps and them, it's like, how many gold? Like, he has the most gold medals in the U.S., like, period, right?
In everyone.
In everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, doing that and only knowing how to operate at a high level. When he was done with the Olympics, he was like, what now? I don't know how to be a regular person. I'm used to training day in and day out throughout my life to be the best. Now that I've accomplished that, what do I do?
Smoke some weed.
Yeah. And it's like, I can only imagine the mental warfare throughout that, because you have to go in day out. Like, listen, I have to be better than I was yesterday. Right. And I was still the best yesterday. Right. Like, you can't it's wild. So,
and I think that brings me to the next point of, it becomes a thought, or when you're grinding, right? Of where you want to be versus where you are. And to me,
can you explain that?
So I'll jump around it a little bit, but the baseline of it is acceptance, right? You could want to be in the Lakers starting five, but maybe you're just a G League player. Maybe you're Jared Dudley and you're the 12th man on the bench, right?
Yeah.
But you have to accept, this is my situation.
Play your role,
but also accept that now I need to do more to get to where I want to be, right? And even further, where I want to be, right, might be different from where I'm at, but I need to accept where I'm at is where I'm supposed to be.
So that's very powerful. So
mind fucked you. I could tell you're like, whoa.
No, I want to know. I'm trying to figure out how I want to attack this, because it's like that person with a big ego. And
I could give you context if it'll help.
No. I completely understand what you're saying.
Word.
So it's like, what type of mental warfare is going on with you, where it's like, let's take it as basketball, right? Like, yo, I'm sixth man of the year, but I want to be a starter. I trained to be a starter. Think of like, and Jimmy Butler is like a bad example, because that man works his ass off. But it's like that person who works day in, day out, and it's like
still not breaking through.
They're doing all of that just to like make it on the squad, just to make it and be like second best and be okay with that.
Right.
I'm busting my ass day in and day out just to make the team.
So how do you accept that?
I think you have to be humble and just happy to be in that position.
But aren't we bred, or I don't want to say I'm bred to want more.
Always.
I always want more. I'm never content. Once I get, one of my biggest things this year is trying to learn how to be present, right? Because one of my regrets during my soccer career is like, I was always looking forward to the next thing and always trying to grind.
Yeah.
That there were times that I wasn't like present, right? So now it's like
preaching to me.
No, but now I really want to just be here
In the moment.
in the moment, right? So then it's like, okay, I need to accept that I'm here. Mm-hmm. Fuck what I want, which is another conversation because I think that's fucked up. When does what I want come into play?
Yep.
And then 2, well, I might not get that. These are the cards that I dealt. 1, why am I here? What's the purpose? What can I learn? And all right, let's make the best of it.
I think there's one thing you're missing, and I think most people are missing this. A lot of people settle in a lot of different areas of their life because they don't reflect on this. They're just like, you know what? I'm going to do this because I know if I keep doing this, I'll be good at it and I'll like get through. How much do I love what I'm doing and how passionate about it am I? Because to that point, if I'm busting my ass every day just because I love the game of basketball, and it's like, listen, I'm just happy to be here and compete at a high level. If I get in the game, I'm going to make sure I don't fuck up. Like Tom Brady was saying.
Yeah, but at some point, that's not enough.
See, but that's you, right? You, because you want the most and the best. And that's why it's hard for you to stay present because, and I'm not about to be your therapist.
No, but
and that's why it's so hard for you to be present because it's like, you'll always be looking and be like, damn, like, you'll like, it's like watching tape. I'm sure y'all watch tape like playing soccer, right? So it's watching tape and it's like, all right, bro, like, damn, this dude's kind of cold. Like, all right, I know I can stop him this way. And then like you look at someone else like, damn, like home nice. I have to surpass that person.
Right.
I'm that type of person. I'm like, yo, listen, I'm competitive. I'm trying to surpass you, where it's like, you have to figure out like, listen, what am I passionate? Like, what do I love about this game? And because you love the game of soccer, you naturally pivoted. And that's like a big part. You have to learn how to pivot into an area that's going to best suit your needs and your passion. So you naturally pivoted into coaching the youth because you got to where you were by hard work. And if you had someone like you in your life at a young age, who knows where you would have been. So I understand because I don't like, I'm the most competitive person in anything. Like my boys tell me like, yo, honestly, I'm competitive, but I love beating you more than anything because I mean, you know me, like I'm going to, if I think I have an inkling, if there's a 1 to 10% chance I'm going to win, that means there's a chance I'm going to win.
Right. And I'm gonna thrive on that 1%.
And I'm going to thrive and I'm going to like, listen, I know how I can win. I just need to make sure I execute.
Right.
And so I guess it's got to be tough, and you have to really be reflective and understand, like, you as a person, like, all right, cool. Is this worth the work I'm going to put in for the results? If so, awesome. But at the end of the day, am I enjoying this? Like, do I love this?
Let me ask you a question. Do you know the song by Wale, Pessimist, featuring Cole?
I've probably heard it before.
So it basically goes, and I'm gonna sing for you, but he's like, got a pocket full of lint again, but it make no difference to me. Falling out with my friends again, but it make no difference to me. Goddamn, I'm hopeless. Oh man, I'm hopeless. And basically the song is about there being power in pessimism, right? And actually I wish I could play it right now so we could like hear it. But my thing is like, is it better to be hopeless or hopeful?
I think mentally hopeful. Feeling hopeless means eventually, that sounds like you're going to take a turn down a dark road.
Right. And my thing, I say high hopes, low expectations. That's what I say.
I like being realistic. And like, I think my version of realism seems optimistic to people, but that's just because you don't want what I want. Right. So I think, and that's a great question. I don't know if I'm equipped to answer that, but I much rather hopeful just means you're putting I'm gonna have faith that hopefully something's gonna come through for me. Pessimism's well, if I don't do it, fuck it, I'm gonna fail anyways, right? So realistically, it's no, and this is probably why I deal with numbers. I just set up.
It is what it is.
No, it's not. It is what it is. It's well, yeah, this is where I'm at, and this is what I need to do to get to where I want to be. There's no hopeful. There's no pessimism. If I want to accomplish this is what I need to do.
Right.
If I don't, then I can't hold myself. I can't hold anyone else accountable for my downfalls because I knew what needed to be done.
Right.
If you don't know, then hop on this Google machine we have on our phones. I don't know.
Nah, and that's kind of what you just said about the thing about hope. When you say, "Oh, I hope this will happen," or "I have faith that it'll happen," for me, it's I struggle putting my faith or my hope out of my control. You know what I mean?
Preach.
I'm not one of those people that's hey, if I just sit here and hope and pray that shit's gonna work out, sorry to all the religious people, but I worked too damn hard in my life to just leave things up to
chance,
hope and prayer.
Bro, so that, going back to last week's conversation, this is why. And you can resonate with this. You spent a lot of time in New York. And in hopes,
I'm trying to get away from this shit. Why would you bringing this shit up?
Sorry, but in hopes that, a connection would be made. So it's
8 for 8?
Yeah, the Bronx ain't shit. So it's this is why it's terrifying getting the age where
getting fit.
Get fit, shout out gang. No, getting into a relationship. Because it's I'm hoping this person feels the way I feel about them, about me.
Right.
And if not, are they gonna tell me? Are they gonna tell me? Or is it just gonna be nah, they too are keeping a tally on their end of all the shit that they're not willing to put up with. And eventually that tally is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
So to me, I like you said, things that are in my control. I know there's things that I can do. It's if you ever heard Will Smith talk about making movies, and one of the movies he did with his son, his name is Jaden, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. Jaden Smith. One of the sons he did with his son Jaden, he was I didn't do what I normally do because I wanted to take his feelings into account and do this. But in the back of my mind, I know how to win. I know what it takes to win. I know if I do X, Y, and Z, this will be the outcome. He's I deterred from that and the movie flopped. So it's what do you learn from that? I think there's a balance there, but it's also, and this is also a result of trauma. It's a trauma reaction, not letting things be ambiguous. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
My thing is it's you. Okay. So me, I lose something every day.
Bruh, yeah.
That's not a secret. I lose something every day.
Yeah.
Right? And you're yo, how are you so laid back about this? First of all, I know that it's somewhere. It's going to get found. Every time I lose something, I think about Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story 2 when he just closed his eyes and his eye was under the bed. Yeah. And he found his eye. I wish I could do that with how much I lose shit. But my first thing is it's somewhere. So it's eventually going to get found, right?
Yeah.
But 2, I cannot control that this thing is lost.
Yes, you can.
A guy can. Sorry. Now that the thing is lost, I cannot control that it's lost.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I can control are my emotions and my thought process towards it, right? So if I get all worked up, right, then that's just going to make everything worse. Whereas if I just stay cool, calm, and collective, at least I'm not pissed off. So what I say all that to say is like, control what you can control, right? And worry about things that you can affect. Because if you worry about everything, then you're always going to end up stressed, or you're going to end up worrying about shit that you can't change. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, I know if I want to run a 5K, right? I know I got to work out 4 or 5 days a week, run X amount of miles, do this. When the 5K comes, I know I'm going to be ready, right? Because I can control that. But if I don't run those miles, if I don't prepare, then I can't be mad at myself, right? For not preparing.
That's a fact. But that's
in my control.
That's in your control, and that's something planned. My thing is like about losing things, and it's like,
I just lose my shit all the time.
Yo, it's funny, like people, some of my favorite people in the world, like close ones, either lose shit or they're clumsy. Two things I don't understand. It's like, how are you not aware of what is like? So me, I told you, like every time you lose something, I was like, bro, consistency is key. I put all my stuff in I do everything almost the same way because I know I'm not gonna forget it. Like I don't think I could ever lose my wallet unless I'm drunk. And that doesn't really happen often. So
challenge accepted
anymore. It's like you can control what you can control. So it's like there's people who do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And
isn't that the definition of insanity?
Yeah. And it's like, you don't realize that you can control the outcome of this. Just do something else. Like what Albert Einstein failed at making a light bulb 7,000 times or 700 times.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's like he tried something different every time. It's not like I'm going to keep doing this over and over.
That's what I'm saying. So like, you're 100% right. Losing stuff could be avoidable. I'm talking about the aftermath. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, so you can control like, all right, well, it happened.
I can control my emotions. So that's why to me, it's like, all right, that's on me. And like to tie everything back together, like you can't regret things because you made that decision. You can't regret where you are because you are where you are because you put yourself there. You can't just say, how'd I get here? Like, and be like, oh shit, like what led up to this? Well, reflect, look back. Like there are certain choices in your life, right? Not speaking up, not standing up for yourself, taking the right and not going left. There are certain things that you did that got you where you are. So like Shakara did, own up to it, accept it, and then move on. You get what I'm saying? And that's like the difference between like, I know I want to be over here, but what is where I'm at right now trying to teach me? I am not going to get out of this loop. I'm not going to stop finding toxic women. I'm not going to stop finding dead-end jobs.
Getting out the streets.
Yeah, you know, like I'm not going to keep doing these bad habits until I learn whatever lesson I am supposed to be learning.
I think that's interesting. You know what? I get that. I resonate with that. I'm a trial by fire person. So it's like, I need to do things like people will tell me I won't reinvent the wheel, but I understand not all spokes fit the same, right? So it's like your wheel is not necessarily going to fit on my vehicle. So, you know, I want to find my own way, and yeah, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fall on my face, but you also have to try different things. I get what you're saying. You have to be reflective and really take into account what's happening and be present. Be present, like, all right, cool. What is this moment teaching me? But I think it's crazy to keep doing the same thing over and over.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And to keep doing the same thing over and over again, like, oh, woe is me. Why isn't this working? Because you haven't changed it. Yeah, exactly. And I see people like that all the time. And honestly, it drives me crazy. But I feel like, yes, I could say something, And if I say something, it's going to go in one ear and out the other. But it's like, some people are comfortable in that. Like some people, I realized a lot of people they say they don't need much out of life, but they don't want much. And it's like, because you don't want much, it's because you set your aspirations so low, you get what you ask for. I ask for a lot out of life. Mm-hmm. And I want to work to get it. A lot of people are like, well, I could be enjoying this. I could be doing this. I could have gone on vacations. I've sacrificed so much in my 20s that I see a lot of people who, and no shade, but like, they've made less than, accomplished less than I have.
Right.
But they've been, quote unquote, enjoyed life more. And to me, they're like, bro,
they were probably on the beach with some of Dope Genetics' finest products. Enjoying
getting late.
Right. By the way, this episode is brought to you by Dope Genetics. Check them out at ... I got you.
Facts.
See what I did there? I got you.
Make it flash. And to me, it's like, I understand that, and my time's going to come. But when you sit and talk with them, like, all right, so what do you want to accomplish? Oh, I want to be a millionaire. I want to do this. All right, cool.
What you doing?
What are you doing to get there? Well, hopefully, rely on faith. To me, that's like, oh, you're not serious.
Right.
And it's like, I think this might be a good segue. It's like, how serious do you want to take your craft, and how serious can you take your craft and not lose passion and love for it? Like, did you ever, throughout your soccer career, was there ever times where you're just like, and like in the midst of like the highlights of it, it's like, were there ever times like, man, I don't want to do this? Not
until the end.
Really?
It literally like that last year, but I think it was more burnout than it was me not enjoying it. But it wasn't until that last year.
It was just I'm all set.
Yeah, and it wasn't even I'm all set because like part of me still wanted to play, but I wasn't enjoying doing what I had to do to play.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
So there was that, and that might have been
burnout. That's all it was.
Was it a burnout, or was that like a hump that you were just like, you know what? I'm all set.
I don't know. I think about it every day.
Okay.
To this day, I still think about it every day.
Yeah.
Like, yo, were you burnt out? Did you give up? Like, were you content? Did you get complacent? Like,
get fit will, and like this isn't to be cliche, it will really have you mentally thinking about these things. Like, because when you get tired, it's like, am I actually tired, or is this like a mental thing? Like, is my body,
or am I just lazy?
Not even, well, yeah, maybe lazy.
Am I just like, oh, I don't want to push through this pain, this tiredness, this. To me, that's laziness. Laziness or weakness, call it what you want. But
that's not the same, because first of all, I don't think you could call anyone who goes to that gym lazy. You could say,
well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe mentally,
you're pushing through the laziness. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
No examples.
You're pushing through the lazy is what I'm saying. That's no one there is lazy, but that gym pushes you to like break those barriers.
Exactly, because like sometimes I'm bear crawling and
I don't got to be fucking bear crawling, but I'm not about to stop. So,
but the thing is, it's like bear crawling. Like I'm a bigger dude, right? And I tell people this with push-ups. Like when I do push-ups, it's like I'm doing 135 and y'all doing like whatever, right?
The bar.
Yeah, right. So when I stop and I get tired, I'm like, damn, like, lack of a better term, like, damn, my bitch. It's like, yo, like, am I stopping because like mentally I can't take this, or is my body really like, bro?
There was one day I was in there, and I don't remember if it was Chanel or Allison, right? But we were bear crawling, and I was tired. So I'm talking to myself, but I was doing it out loud. I was like, yo, don't be a bitch. Don't stop. And they were right in front of me. And they looked at me. They was like, well, I was like, oh, I ain't talking to you. And this was like before like we all got like cool like that or whatever. And they started laughing. But no, I feel you. It gets you mentally strong. And to go back to the Shakara thing, the Phelps example is like, you don't know what people are going through mentally. Like fuck the physical side.
Yeah,
right?
You only see the results of a lot of hard work.
But you like people don't understand like to speak to me how many birthdays I missed, how many family events, how many cookouts, how many parties.
Yeah.
Even in middle school, how many times kids were going to sleepovers and this, and I had tournaments and I was in Vermont, I was here, I was there. You know what I mean? Like people don't realize that shit. You know what I mean? And it's like that pays a toll up here.
Yeah, and it drives me crazy to like, because everyone's a critic, especially when it comes to professional sports. So it's like when people call professional athletes like trash or like, they talk shit about them on social media. In my head, I'm like, yo, you have no, what?
I do that all the time.
Yeah, but you've been a professional athlete. Right. So it's like, but most people, like I said, they don't know what it's like to compete at a high level.
Right.
So it's like you're talking and you've always been like last picked in gym. You know what I'm saying? Like you
ain't do shit to talk about this.
You play water polo, and I don't even know what water polo consists of, but I know I've never played it in whatever. So it's like, yeah, you're a professional badminton player, which actually badminton's pretty badass. But like it's like your critiques, you don't understand what people are going through. So like Kyrie Irving, everyone talks shit about him. It's like, oh, he's weak. He needs to man up. You're getting paid millions of dollars to play basketball. Do what you're getting paid for. Do your job. Bro, like, you probably hate your job. You probably hate your life. You probably hate your family, but you go in day out and you resent them for doing it. So because he outwardly says, yo, listen, I get paid millions of dollars, but my mental health needs work, you look down upon him?
Right.
It's like,
what do you want him to do?
Exactly. Shut up and dribble.
Right, because then mans commit suicide or hurts themselves, and then it's like, oh, why didn't he say something? Why didn't that?
Like, no, I've been saying something. You're not listening.
Right.
And I think we have to be more compassionate of each other, and we need to be, so me and my lady were just talking about the other day.
You got a lady?
Yeah, bro, we already talked about this. We were talking about the other day. It was, I wish we lived in a world, because she was driving. It was late at night, and somebody was broken down on the side of the road. And she was like, yeah, my parents always said I shouldn't stop late at night to help someone on the side of the road by myself because I'm a woman. And in my head, I'm like, honestly, like, I wouldn't do that where you live either, just because they probably see a big black dude and like, who knows what happens. But I wish we lived in a world where you could help someone like that and not have to think twice about, does this person have a gun in the car and are they going to shoot me when I'm trying to help them?
Well, I'll tell you a story about my first 2 hours in England, right?
Okay.
I don't know if I ever told you this story before, and then we'll start to wrap up. So I got off the off the airplane with 2 big suitcases, 2 duffel bags,
like
and
a
back
tourist,
right? And I was in London. I had to get to Leeds, which was about 4 hours northeast, right? I didn't know how. I knew I had to catch the train. I didn't know how to get to the train. So get my bags, put them on a little trolley, and you could only push the trolleys in the airport. I had to catch the tube, right? No, I had to go on the underground, walk through this basically underground tunnel to then get to the train station to get on a train to get to Leeds, right? So I'm pushing the trolley. They had these little pikes. Couldn't bring the shit. So I'm struggling, right? Carrying, bro, at one point I'm just dragging the fucking bags, right? Big black dude, 6'4", diesel as fuck, comes out and he's like, you all right, mate?
Oh, it's me.
And I wanted to be like, bro, do I look like I'm all right? Like the American in me really wanted to, bro, what? He goes, oh, where you off to?
Being sarcastic?
Yeah. I'm pissed at this point. Like, bro, I had to walk at least 1.5 miles with these bags.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like, all right, mate. Takes my 2 biggest bags and just starts walking. And I'm like, all right, well, my soccer shit's back here. So if he don't come back, whatever. Dude comes back with a trolley, puts my bags. He's like, yo, you got any money? I said, nah, I didn't even switch any dollars over yet, right? All right, here goes 10 quid. There's 10 pounds, right? Go over there. You already missed your train. They're going to give you another ticket. Then go over there. That's where your train's going to be to Leeds. In America, that would never happen. To your point.
Yeah, like that's not happening in Grand Central. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, you know what I mean? And then to this day, like I hadn't even been in England 2 hours.
See, that's my type of, that's like because who wants to think twice about every action to think if someone's plotting on you?
Right.
Like that would I've seen the effects that can have on somebody, and that is, it's catastrophic. So yeah, like I need to try, to my point of earlier, like of sacrifice and everything. I need to travel more. I need to understand more countries and
get out, get cultured.
Yeah, different cultures, that one. So obviously, yeah, we need to take the podcast on the road.
Let's do it.
So
let's do it. Any of our listeners that are not in the 860-203, holla at us. We will come to y'all. Facts. As long as you feed us and drink us up, then we have a good time. But
that part.
Shit, we've been chopping it up about almost an hour, and I love this shit because it never feels like an hour. Nah. But shit, we could wrap up. Shout out to Dope Genetics. You guys check them out. Check out all their products. They got apparel. They've got edibles. They got drinks. They got hats, which is also apparel. You're going to be hearing a lot more from them, about them, seeing them.
August 6th, mark your calendar. Just mark your calendar. If you listen to this, mark your calendars right now for August 6th. And when the announcement comes, you already know what time it is. But Dope Genetics is going to be there in the flesh. They're going to have a table. They're going to have everything that they have to offer. And is, like I said, it's Black owned, from Hartford. My man really understands the chemical balances of how to get a person.
You should have said how to get here.
How to get here. Just how to get you right medicinally and, recreationally.
Hey, it's legal.
That's a fact. Yo, that's crazy.
So shit, and we're going to get an episode, bro. We're going to get an episode, but let's get our 15 seconds of fame and get up on out of here.
My 15 seconds of fame, honestly, anyone who is in a relationship and
good luck.
Good luck. And, there's things that irk you about your partner, or things that you think twice about your partner. Be bold and bring that up to them. Don't be a dick about it. But communication in any healthy relationship is key. And I just saw, bro, it's the most, you should watch it. I recommend watching it with a woman because you might turn the shit off.
Harry Potter?
No, first of all, Harry Potter's dope. Don't just play with me. But I forgot what it's called. It's called Sex and Love, or it's based off a book. I watched
30 Shades of Grey.
No. Isn't it 60 Shades? 30? Is it 50? 50. Yo, that's hilarious. But it's I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to text it to you so you can put it on there. But it's literally, I don't want to give it up, but it's the most toxic show because there's a married couple that just doesn't know how to communicate with each other. So my 50 seconds, which has been a minute now, just communicate with your partner and tell them something that is out of the box and maybe a little awkward this week. All right. And to challenge yourself and challenge your relationship. If you're going to be together forever.
I don't know nothing about none of that. But shit, my 15 seconds of fame. Fuck. Listen, wherever you're at in life, that's where you're supposed to be. Enjoy it, appreciate it, and always try to find the light. Because if you look at the darkness, you're going to find negativity. But if you look at the bright, you're going to find positivity. And you're going to find why you're supposed to be there. You're going to find the lesson that you're supposed to. And with all that being said, if you need help finding out where you need to be, maybe try some of Dope Genetics and they'll help you find out where you need to be because you'll be calm and mellow because they're a dope-ass business and we're a dope-ass podcast. And this is a wrap on another fucking episode. You hear me?
Bang, bang.